Welcome everyone to another fantastic top 5 video presented by yours truly, Yandere. Today I will be giving you the top 5 films where the protagonist slash antagonist is a Yandere, aka psycho bitch killing machine. For those who don't know what a Yandere is, it's basically a woman or man who is infatuated with another person and will do anything to be with them, even if it means killing others. You might ask yourself, well, why would anyone want to watch movies like that? Well, to answer your question, I have no freaking idea. I guess we're all fucked up in the head somehow. I don't know. Anyways, I hope you guys like these recommendations, and yeah, hope you guys enjoy the video as well. Number 5. The Perfect Teacher, 2010. Runtime is about 1 hour and 27 minutes. It is rated TV PG. Its Metacritic score is around 5 out of 10. And the summary of the movie goes like this. Beautiful and spoiled high school student Devon Corey always gets what she wants. This time she wants her handsome math teacher Jim Wilkes. And when Devon sets her sights on the recent divorce, she makes every effort to initiate herself on top of all aspects of his life, including coming in between him and his girlfriend Rachel. As Devon's obsession with Jim grows, it becomes clear that she won't take no for an answer and will stop at nothing to secure his affections. Unfortunately for Jim, it might be too late before he realizes that Devon is hardly the perfect student he thought she was. Okay, now for personal thoughts. I watched this movie once and I would say it was a pretty interesting take on the whole obsession Yandere topic thing. I believe this is one of the very few movies that actually take the student-teacher love quarrel and scenario and puts it into an actual film. This kind of reminds me of the Hiei Mosu manga, which took the same concept but with an even crazier character. If you like this kind of scenario, then I highly recommend you watch this flick. Number 4. Swimfan, 2002. Its runtime is about 1 hour and 25 minutes. It is rated PG-13, and its Metacritic score is 5 out of 10. So here's the summary of this movie. Ben has a new swim fan named Madison Bell, a recent transfer student to Ben's high school. Despite Ben making it clear that he is in a committed relationship, Madison seduces him. They agree afterwards that their encounter was a one-time only event, but Ben slowly comes to the realization that despite Madison's assertions to the contrary, she has more in mind with him. My personal thoughts on this film: this movie is a pretty old one. I just recently watched it, and I gotta say, it's kind of generic in terms of the main heroine being Yandere. She isn't as extreme as the other ones in this list, but nonetheless, still an obsessive Yandere. If you don't mind how old this movie is, then you should probably check it out. Number 3. The Roommate, 2011. Runtime is about 1 hour and 31 minutes. It is rated PG-13, and its Metacritic score is 5 out of 10. The movie summary is like this. Fresh from Des Moines, Iowa, Sarah Matthews had just landed in Los Angeles as a college freshman studying fashion design. She meets handsome Steven, party lover Tracy, and roommate Rebecca. Rebecca is nice, sweet, and ready to share everything with Sarah. It could be a beginning of a beautiful friendship, but Tracy is convinced that there's something seriously wrong with Rebecca, and bad things start happening around to everyone closer to Sarah. If Sarah is to have a normal college experience, she's going to have to get to the bottom of what's up with Rebecca and quickly get out of her clutches. Alright, on to my personal thoughts on the movie. Okay, so this movie is a pretty weird one. I'm not the kind of person that's into the Yuri lesbian kind of thing, but this movie's story is pretty interesting. There's some gritty parts in this movie where she literally rips belly button piercing off someone, which made me cringe, like, really badly. But nonetheless, if you don't mind this kind of thing, then this isn't a bad film to watch. Number 2. The Crush, 1993. Its runtime is about 1 hour and 29 minutes. It is rated R, and its Metacritic score is 6 out of 10. The summary of the movie is like this. Nick Elliott, a 28-year-old newspaper reporter, moves into the guest house of the Foresters. Everything goes fine until he meets Adrian, the Forester's only child, a 14-year-old girl. She develops a crush on him. When he ignores her advances, she rebuffed and is willing to kill him. My personal thoughts on this movie is, this is a pretty old, hell, it came out a year before I was born. Nonetheless, it's a pretty good and has a decent rating compared to the other films. It's a classic in my opinion, and I believe a lot of the recent movies on this list took this one as inspiration. This is why it's listed as number 2. The main heroine is pretty mental, and the things she would do to make the protagonist her lover is kinda crazy. This is a big recommendation if you don't mind the old 90s retro look. Alright, before we go to number 1, here are some honorable mentions. This time we only have one, but it's a pretty good honorable mention. This honorable mention goes to the movie called Misery. Its runtime is 1 hour and 29 minutes. It is rated R and its Metacritic score is 8 out of 10. I've never actually seen this movie personally, but it is regarded as a high-rated movie, especially since it's won an Oscar. I've seen snippets of the plot and clips, and I know for a fact that the main heroine is a Yandere SK character. If you decide to watch it, or have already seen it, please leave a comment telling me what you thought of the movie, and see if it's worth watching myself. Now for number 1. Crush, 2013. Runtime is about 1 hour and 34 minutes. It is rated PG-13, and its Metacritic score is 5 out of 10. Alright, so the movie summary goes like this. The promising high school soccer player Scott is injured in a game. 2 years after, he is still trying to heal. The teenager Jules feels unrequited love for him, but Scott is concentrated in recovering his physical condition and considers her as a friend. The other teenager Bess, that works in the store owned by David with her mature colleagues, Andy, has a crush on Scott. When Scott is stalked by a mysterious person that threatens Jules, he believes that Bess is responsible for the weird situation. Is his assumptions correct? Now on to some personal thoughts on this movie. Alright, so this is number 1 due to different factors. I personally like the main heroine in terms of her looks due to this film being the most modern film out of all the films listed. This film also isn't straightforward, so it will make you think a bit before you actually figure things out, which is a huge plus in my opinion. Lastly, there are some pretty fucked up scenes in this movie which would make you look away because of how disturbing it is. It's not gory or anything, just an FYI. Although the only downside to this would be the fact that once you watch it for the first time, the surprise at the end of the film won't be a big surprise anymore. Alright guys, so that's it for this top 5, and I hope you guys really enjoyed this video, and if you guys haven't seen my other videos, I highly recommend you do, because you might find something that you like. So don't forget to subscribe, like this video, don't forget to click on the little bell buttons to get notified what my next video is, and thanks for watching.